Himalayas, blessed with massive peaks, glaciers, forests, valleys, and rivers, provide abundant natural resources for the local populations and is a heaven for tourists from across the world. This region offers peace and quiet, accompanied by amazing natural and cultural diversities. But Himalayas are under great pressure in recent years by an increasingly harsh climate and anthropogenic activities. Its highly sensitive ecosystems are threatened by frequent natural calamities. The 2013 floods catastrophe is testimony to this.
बहुत खेत थे, अब तो कहाँ रह गया, खेत बह गए और जानवर मरे, मकान मतलब ध्वस्त हुए हैं, ये चीज़ हुई इस आपदे के कारण से.
About 4,200 villages were affected by the 2013 floods. The infrastructural damage included 145 bridges washed away, 1,418 drinking water schemes damaged, and 1,335 villages were without road connectivity for more than 3 weeks after the disaster. The main impact was felt between Kedarnath and Kaurikund in Rudraprayag district. Other districts affected were Chamoli, Uttarkashi, Bageshwar, and Pithoragarh. About 3,000 houses were damaged and more than 5,000 people went missing or died. Lakhs of local people lost everything in one go: their homes, fields, animals, basic amenities, and most importantly, their livelihood means. Dehradun-based People's Science Institute stepped in immediately after the disaster to assist in the immediate relief of communities that weren't being reached by the government or other agencies. These were mostly in remote valleys of Rudraprayag and Bageshwar districts. A 3-phase strategy was devised by PSI after conducting a rapid needs assessment in the area. Immediate relief, provision of shelters to last a few years, and long-term rehabilitation of the communities and their livelihoods. From our 2 decades of experience, we had learned that rehabilitation is a long-term process where the first step of search and rescue is best done by local communities. We started relief work immediately, and the affected communities were given masonry training to ensure participation of the communities in shelter building. A total of 206 temporary shelters and 166 toilets were constructed, including a school. But in a major catastrophe, the real challenge is to restore livelihoods.
हमारा उद्देश्य था कि घाटी में हम ऐसे आजीविका के साधनों को बढ़ोतरी करें जो यहाँ की प्रकृति के हिसाब से संभव हैं और जिनके माध्यम से गांव वाले खुद स्वराज को प्राप्त कर सकें.
After visiting remote affected areas and providing immediate relief and temporary shelters, PSI decided to work in the districts of Bageshwar in the Kumaon region and Rudraprayag in the Garhwal region of Uttarakhand across 3 valleys in 22 villages for its Phase 3.
Whatever we do in terms of livelihood, we must enhance productivity of all the resources, not just the land, but also water, also human beings, etc. Second, we must enhance sustainability. Whatever we do, it has to be done in a sustainable way. And third, we must enhance equity in the society.
The aim of Phase 3 was to help rehabilitate the livelihoods of disaster-affected families through village livelihood plans formulated with community participation to ensure food and livelihood security. Entry point activities like plantations with women's groups, low-cost, sustainable agriculture innovations, off-farm and natural resource management activities led by village-level institutions.
घाटी में हमने आजीविका बढ़ाने के लिए मधुमक्खी पालन, बकरी पालन, मुर्गी पालन, कृषि एवं सब्जी उत्पादन बढ़ाने के लिए श्री विधि, जैविक खेती, इसके साथ साथ हमने सिंचाई योजनाएं, पेयजल योजनाएं, इसके साथ साथ बीच में हमने एक्सपोजरों के माध्यम से, किसान मेलों के माध्यम से, ट्रेनिंग के माध्यम से, ब्यूटी पार्लर, सिलाई की कोर्सेस, इनके माध्यम से किसानों की आजीविका बढ़ाने का प्रयास किया।
अच्छा, ये परंपरागत ढंग से पहले पुरानी पद्धति से करते थे, फिर जब से ये PSI आई तो इन्होंने इसमें मार्गदर्शन दिया और ट्रेनिंग करवाई। जो ट्रेनिंग में सिखाया गया था उस विधि से काम करने पर इसमें अच्छा फ़ायदा हुआ। पहले जो है एक साल में हम करीब 6-7 किलो शहद निकाल पाते थे, अभी 22-24 किलो एक डब्बे से एक साल का उत्पादन होता है।
In the context of livelihoods program especially, it will be implying that first we understand how the communities have been managing their basic resources, that is their agricultural land, forest and water, and then build upon that the different technologies, bring in modern technologies, build up institutions for the betterment of their livelihoods.
PSI believes that the goal is for people themselves to plan and implement their own development. To sustain such self-reliant development, we require local institutions fueled with enthusiasm, a sense of ownership and collective action. The main focus was to ensure equitable participation, transcending boundaries of caste, class, gender in the formation of these institutions. Institutions like the Aam Sabha, which is nothing but a village parliament, was promoted, ensuring representation from each household of the village. In the Aam Sabha, a Gram Swaraj Samiti was formed for each of the 22 villages. The communities elect their executive body at an open village level meeting, following a democratic process. These VLIs have increased the level of participation of otherwise disadvantaged and neglected groups like women, BPPL and SC households. The system of crop intensification and agroecological innovation for improving agricultural production, food security and resilience to climate change was introduced. Despite extreme weather conditions in the consequent years, SCI proved to be an effective climate-resilient approach to increase high grain productivity, high straw productivity, helped in biodiversity conservation, contribution to organic productivity, and helped farmers to achieve higher output with low inputs for marginal farmers.
श्री विधि को पिछले 5 सालों में गेहूं धान के साथ साथ यहाँ के किसानों ने मसूर, उड़द, अरहर आदि दालों में भी अपनाया है। लोगों को पता चला है कि इससे उत्पादन में वृद्धि होती है, बीज कम लगता है, समय कम लगता है, तो मेहनत कम में ज़्यादा उत्पादन हो रहा है। तो लोगों ने गेहूं धान के साथ अन्य फसलों में भी इसको अपनाया है और लोगों ने फ़ायदा पाया है।
Another out-of-the-box innovation is the development practitioners training, where young men and women from the villages that we work with are selected through a 3-step process. These youths are trained in various streams related to rural sustainable development to become responsible development practitioners who can think for themselves and their communities. By training these youths, we are sowing the seeds of long-term development processes in these villages. The backbone of the mountains is the collective strength of its women. PSI worked relentlessly to not only ensure participation of women in economic activities, but also for their inclusion in the decision-making process within and outside the household.
महिला मंगल दल एक ऐसा मंच है जिसमें महिलाओं की समस्याएं, वो महिलाओं के मुद्दे पे चर्चाएं की जाती है और इससे महिलाओं को काफ़ी फ़ायदा भी मिला है, जिसमें उनकी समस्याओं का समाधान होता है और महिलाओं को आगे बढ़ने का एक अच्छा मंच भी मिला है। बचत समूह के माध्यम से गरीब महिलाओं को कम ब्याज पर ऋण मिल जाता है। इसकी मदद से हम रोजगार में वृद्धि कर रहे हैं और अब महिलाओं को किसी के आगे पैसों के लिए हाथ फैलाने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती है। हमारे लिए बहुत खुशी की बात है कि आज यहाँ पे पहली बार हम महिला दिवस मनाने जा रहे हैं और ये प्रोग्राम जो यहाँ पे हो रहा है हमें बहुत गर्व है। तो ये सारी इसकी देन है हमारी PSI यानी लोक विज्ञान संस्थान देहरादून द्वारा हमारे गांव में संगठन बनाए गए और इसी के माध्यम से आज हम यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं।
a unique community-based initiative was started in both the valleys to ensure responsible and sustainable tourism in these scenic locations, which would be socially just and inclusive, environmentally friendly and economically beneficial to most people. Of the community participating in CBT, 70% of the individuals involved are either women or from BPPL households.
पिछले 5 सालों में PSI ने दोनों वैलीज़ में क्लस्टर रिसोर्स सेंटर बनाए हैं, जिसका मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव यही है कि वहाँ पर जो भी लाइवलीहुड एक्टिविटीज़ हमने की थी उनको सस्टेन किया जाए, लोगों को एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिले, एक स्पेस मिले जहाँ पर वो अपनी एक्टिविटीज़, वुमेंस डे, फार्मर्स डे, इनको सेलिब्रेट कर सकें और वहीं से वो आगे की प्लानिंग भी कर सकें और गवर्नमेंट के साथ भी इंटरेक्शन करके खुद के रिसोर्स जनरेट करें और एक्टिविटीज़ को सस्टेन कर सकें।
These communities have remained more or less isolated, and hence reception to change is not very easy. But the perseverance with which PSI has tried to introduce innovations has introduced hope in these areas. And it is the mountain women that are the harbingers of this hope and change.